Hello everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place. Today I've got a brand new series for you guys. I know that I've strayed away a bit from books at the moment, and to be honest, it's because I'm not really reading. I'm in a bit of a reading slump, so I've been trying to think of other videos that you guys might be interested in, and I've come up with this new series which isn't bookish at all but is fangirlish, and I know that if you're a bookworm you are usually in a few fandoms, so I thought this series worked well. This series is The Adventures of a Fangirl. Now, I'm 24 now, and I have been fangirling since I was about 13 years old, and I have a hell of a lot of stories about a hell of a lot of celebrities, and each episode is going to focus on a certain celebrity and all of my stories and escapades with said celebrity. Now, this first celebrity is one that you will all know very, very well, and you will probably have all hated this person when I loved him, and now that it's cool to like him, I'm very indifferent. I think this is possibly the saddest obsession because I was so in love with him, more so than any other obsession I've had, and to now be so indifferent to him and not look back fondly on the adventures I had, well, it's a little bit depressing. This person is Justin Bieber. My obsession started with him when I was 14 years old. He was the reason that I made my Twitter account, because I wanted him to follow me, and he did, guys. I have so many stories around Justin. He was kind of the first person that I actively set out to meet, so I have many stories of waiting for hours upon hours for him, and I feel like he is my most unlucky person. I tried so many times, spent so many hours trying to meet him, and it just didn't happen. The funniest story that I have about Justin Bieber is when I was 15, this was January 2009, he was just getting started in the UK and no one really knew him. I had just seen him on tour with Taylor Swift and I was utterly obsessed with him. So he had this small gig at the Science Museum, it was really intimate, and this is another secret here, this is a confession. They had a competition, a singing competition, where you did a video of you singing one of Justin's songs, uploaded it to YouTube, and then they chose a few people to get tickets to this intimate gig. When I posted these videos, they were kind of massive. I had over 100,000 views on my YouTube just through doing covers of Justin's songs. Because I started to get really badly bullied at school, I ended up deleting them, which is possibly my biggest regret. But yeah, I entered this competition, I didn't win, so I thought, you know what, I'll just go and stalk him because why the hell not? So I went to the Science Museum, I waited there possibly 8 hours, didn't see him. I went into the Science Museum to warm up, it was January and it was freezing. He was rehearsing in one of the little rooms there and they let us stand outside, they wouldn't let us see him or anything, but we were allowed to give him gifts that they would pass on to him and things like that. At one point we heard him singing and I was so excited that I ran up and down the main part of the Science Museum screaming and shouting that I loved him, and I got kicked out and they told me not to come back, and you know, that was mortifying. I literally got escorted off of the premises by a guard. Just so you know, the Science Museum was open to the public, so this was a very public thing, and to this day I am still terrified to go into the Science Museum because what if that security guard is there? So yeah, I waited outside. I thought, you know, I've still got a chance to get in here. We've been out here for so many hours. They'll take pity on us soon, because there were only about 8 of us there. At about 5 o'clock I thought, do you know what, I've been here since 9, I'm just gonna go home. Went home. Found out that at 5:30 they let everyone in that was outside to watch the concert for free, so there you go, that was strike number 1 of not meeting Justin Bieber. Then the next time, he was staying at the K West Hotel in London a few months later and he had a signing. Didn't manage to get a signing band because you had to be there by 9 o'clock, and at the time I was still under 16, so missed that because my mum wouldn't let me have time off school to go and get the band, and I hated her and, you know, teenage drama. And then I thought, you know what, I'll just go and wait outside his hotel because he's bound to be there, right? Got to the hotel, waited there for hours upon hours upon hours. There was only like 10 of us down there. He wouldn't come down. He wasn't leaving the hotel. He wouldn't even like come to the window, and I was just a bit like, I'm getting so sick of this. Why am I so unlucky? And then this amazing thing happened. He had a small gig for Comic Relief. You had to apply for tickets and you had to be 16. At the time, it was March the 1st. My birthday is on March the 10th. So in 9 days, it was my 16th birthday. I already had my national insurance card. So I thought, do you know what? You have to be 16 to have one of them. Surely that's enough ID. The friend that I went with was already 16 and looked a lot older than me. So she was fine. Managed to get the tickets. They chose me. I literally died. I thought, this is it. This is the time that I'm going to meet Justin Bieber. Got there early, was in the queue, was like, yes, yes, this is it, this is it. Wouldn't accept my ID, wouldn't believe my name was Zoe. Even got them to call my mum and speak on the phone to her, and they still wouldn't let me in. And at this point, I will admit, I was a little bit immature for being 16, and I started to cry. Then I started to hyperventilate. Then the next thing I knew, there was a paramedic. I was passing out, and yeah, the gig started without me. I was outside with an ambulance, and yeah, that was a time to be alive, let me tell you that. So yeah, that happened. I was fine. I had some food and drink with them. They left, and I thought, oh, I'll just wait out here for Justin Bieber because this guy hasn't caused me enough trouble already. So I waited. His car came out. Me and about 20 other girls proceeded to chase after his car. Yes, we ran down the middle of a road, chasing a car with blacked out windows that was going very fast, just to get a glimpse of this guy. I mean, wow. Looking back at this, I am actually mortified. I mean, how was this me? It's just like, no. And there are so many other instances, not as exciting as the few I've spoke about, but there are so many other instances where I tried to meet him, waited outside for hours, either just missed him or he wouldn't come down. And yeah, it was about a year later, when I was about 17, that I thought, you know what? This guy's just bringing me bad luck. I've been kicked out of the Science Museum. I've ended up in an ambulance. Like, this guy just isn't for me. So the obsession started to dwindle a bit, and then he went mainstream and everyone liked him, and I was just like, I freaking hate this guy. So yeah, this one isn't as successful as my others because I have to admit, most of my other stories end with me meeting said person, but Justin Bieber was the most unlucky meet I've ever not had. But he did follow me on Twitter, and I remember that moment extremely well. I danced around my bedroom, I sobbed for a good few hours. My mum thought I was going temporarily insane. So that was an achievement. And another embarrassing thing that I have to admit about this is when I was obsessed with him, it was when I started my Facebook. And you could choose your Facebook URL, and you could only choose it once and you could never change it again. So 15-year-old me made Facebook and had Bieber in her URL, and still to this day, 9 years later, Bieber still remains. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you all going to look at it and laughing because I am just an embarrassment. Yeah, I think that's it on the Justin Bieber front. I do have a few more little anecdotes, but as I say, not as exciting and probably as boring as me having to wait 8 hours in the freezing cold to meet him. When I started planning out this series, I kind of forgot how terrible I used to be. I think as you get older and mature more, you kind of forget that you used to be a bit of a crazy person when you were younger. But yeah, if you have any fangirl stories about people you've met or tried to meet, or just funny moments in general around celebrities, I would love to hear them because I just want to feel a little less embarrassed about mine and laugh at you instead. So I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of my new series. As I say, there will be many, many more to come with the likes of Jude Law, Wesley, Bradley James and the Merlin cast, the Jonas Brothers, just so many more fun stories await. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.